You're watching Argos TV. I'm Darren Simons. Lovely to have your company here. Thank you so much for joining us. You've joined me in a rather a messy studio, and I will tell you why a little bit later on. But first off, we're bringing you the world of Hoover. Now, I think everybody grew up with a world or something of Hoover in their world, if you like. And Hoover has been a company been around since the early 1900s, and nearly a century of making vacuum cleaners and, of course, other various appliances around the house. But today we're going to be looking at focusing on vacuum cleaners. We're going to have some uprights, we're going to have some cylinder ones, we're going to have some which are wet and dry, handheld, rechargeable as well. Something for every kind of job around the house, but from the trusted name of Hoover. It is, of course, Generation Future is their slogan, which is, of course, designing contemporary living, getting all your modern day habits well within their grasp of getting clean around the house, getting conscious about, you know, making sure that where you live, where the kids are, where the pets are, that you've got a nice clean environment, of course, to live in as well. So here's what's coming up in the next hour for you. So I hope you can stay for this on this one here. It's catalogue number 4065687. It is, of course, your Hoover TRC 4224. It's the pet hair. It's bagless cylinder. It is, of course, really easy with the turbo brush to use, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. £89.99. Look at this, a half-price deal on that, which is an amazing, incredible offer, actually, when you think about it, doesn't it? 2 litre total capacity, HEPA filtration as well. Then, I'm loving this as well. Handheld, we're talking wet and dry as well. So this is really good because you can suck up milk, you can suck up eggs around the kitchen. £39.99. Another saving as well, 15 quid off that as well. It's the Hoover S144WSR, and wet and dry handheld cleaner, really good. Catalogue 4065979. Then, if you like more of a traditional style with a contemporary twist, because it's packed with all your latest features, your HEPA filtration as well. A real strong system, this. Yes, it's a whopper. £99.99, half-price deal on this as well. Catalogue 4065405 for the Hoover DM6225. So if you are in the market for getting yourself a new vacuum cleaner, a Hoover half-price deal is absolutely incredible. So clean it with Hoover. Now, what we're talking about here is a wet and dry, handheld, rechargeable vacuum cleaner. Now, of course, you've got all the great deals here in terms of sucking up things around the house, in terms of milk, in terms of egg around the kitchen. How many times? I mean, I think egg, to be honest with you, is probably one of the toughest things to actually suck up or actually clear up, because it all gets mucky around your cloth in here. This type of thing is going to look after that. Now, this is, I've got to say, an excellent deal, and you won't have to shell out too much for this either. I'm not ever going to do that again. There we are, £15 saving. A brilliant deal on this one. So, wet and dry, it's handheld, and what we're talking about here is a really, really simple to use system. Catalogue 4065979. So basically, for all your little jobs around the kitchen, if you spilt your cereal, if you're anything like my household, the kids, when they have their chocolate-flavoured little pops, like the Cocoa Pop type things, or cornflakes, they get them spilt on the floor. Well, this, really handy for that. So, good just to suck up. Of course, your on-off buttons just here. Tells you also the battery level as well, so when it's due for being recharging, we will know as well. So look, there we go, battery level 4 full stars there, if you like, the green, and I can suck it all up. But have a look at the suction here. You can hear it really sucking up very, very well as well, right into the centre. You can see everything collecting inside as well. It's a transparent red cage box, or just a little red unit there, and I'm sucking away. And that, with little effort, in fact, have a look at the way I'm handling this here. You can see there's not too much. Yeah, that is cool, isn't it? Not too much of an effort at all. So that is being sucked up. So you can see everything that you've collected inside. Very, very simple to empty as well. Quite simply, you just push in thumb and forefinger just like that. That releases just inside. Now in here, we've got your filtration system. So what you need to do with that is just take this out, and there's a little handle inside as well, which what you need to do is pop that open, give it a shake off the excess there, obviously in the bin. It's all right back on the floor. In fact, let's do that, shall we? This is great. I'm going to get the milk and eggs out in a minute. This is brilliant. Okay, so that clicks back into place like that. quite simple. That goes in like that. The filtration, which you can wash out, just maybe pop it under the tap. Now, you can get spare parts for this. If you need to get yourself a new one of those, go to argos.co.uk/TV. Literally hundreds of spares and replaceable filters as well, so check it out online there. That just clicks into place like that, so nice and snug there. This then goes back on, clicks into place, and that's it. Ergonomically designed, very, very simple to use. There's your handle. Pretty lightweight as well, just over 1 kilo in the weight of that. So you've got that, you've got the reassurance of quality from the Hoover branding. And you know, what I love about Hoover is that even if you haven't got a Hoover at home, you'll get a vacuum cleaner out the cupboard. So I'm just going to do the Hoovering, because Hoover is one of those things, they're even thinking about putting it in the dictionary, I've heard, as well, because it's so commonly used, and it's because it's a brand that's been around for nearly a century. So we're talking about maybe using it in the car because you haven't got to have it plugged in, so maybe the baby seat in the car, perhaps, you know, biscuits, crisps in the back of the car. What about the stairs? You know, when your vacuum cleaner can't really get up to the top of the stairs or in the corner, well, what you're going to get with this as well is a crevice tool. Now, the crevice tool itself will just fit very snugly into there, and that's really for getting down the side of sofas and chairs and things like that. Okay, so, you know, of course, it's going to get right into the nooks and crannies of that. So that just pops in there. Now, when you are doing your wet stuff, and I'll show you that in just a second, there is another attachment we'll tell you about. But have a look at this really quickly. Have I got any crevices anywhere? Have I got a crevice anywhere? Maybe I'll get one in a minute, actually. In fact, let me go over to... Let me just vacuum up here for a minute, and you'll see how that just sucks it up. But that's a detail attachment, a crevice attachment. So, for example, if you're sat on like a tub chair like this, and you want to get down the sides where your cushion is, just getting it down there, nice and snug. And of course, you know, I think about cars, they do gather a lot of dirt, don't they? You get it cleaned, you get it professionally vacuumed or valeted, and then you'll get all these crumbs and things like that. So whip this out into the garage or in the driveway. Because it's charged up as well, it's going to really do a very, very powerful job, and it's going to suck everything up. So there's your crevice tool, just like that, okay? Now, if we're doing wet, because wet's very important as well, it's all good and well having a handheld rechargeable vacuum cleaner, but what we've got here, this is even better because it means that we can suck up wet. All right, now the attachment goes in there. Now you'll notice this is very different. This is a rubberized one, a little bit like a squeegee there, so it can actually wipe as well as it sucks, okay? So that literally will be over the floor. Now we're going to put, should we stick an egg on the floor? This is great. Oh, actually, no, should we do milk first, actually? Because I'm savouring the egg. Okay, all right, so the dreaded milk. Okay, now, should we pop this on the floor or the carpet? I think should we do the carpet? Let's do the cup. Actually, no, we're not going to do the carpet. Let's do it on the floor. Okay. Okay, kitchen floor. Imagine the kitchen floor, and we just suck it up here. You ready for this? Now, that is pretty cool, isn't it? Now, underneath, of course, you've got the squeegee on the underside there. And you've got a little brush there, and also if you push that up there, you'll see that you have a brush as well, which I just got a little bit dirty from earlier on, and that will just help assist with the extra dust or the muck there. But literally, that sucked up the milk. Put a bit of milk on the carpet. Just think red wine as well. Can you imagine? They say if you want to treat red wine, you've got to get it sucked up straight away. So again, that could be ideal for that. Now let's suck this up. So it could be your kitchen floor, it could be your dining room carpet, the lounge carpet with the kids getting all that juice everywhere, as they often do. Should we do the egg? Let's do the egg. I'm loving this. Oh, I feel so messy today. Goodness. Let's do the egg. OK. Oops, I've dropped an egg. Oh, and do you know that sound? The sound of that in the kitchen. You think, oh, no, because if you get kitchen wipes, kitchen towels, or anything, it is so gooey and messy and horrible. Not touching it. Right, so what we do, I'm just going to clear the shell away really quickly here. Might have to get a little towel in a minute, actually. All right, we'll do that. Now, that is horrible, isn't it? Isn't egg horrible like that? So watch this. Here we go. Did you hear that? What a lovely sound that was. So the main thing is, the key thing is, you're sucking up the majority of the messy stuff. Now, what you would probably do is get a bit of spray down there, get a kitchen towel just to finish it off, but you are sucking up the horrible yolk, the gooey stuff that gets all sticky in your fingers. Nothing worse than sticky fingers, really, and getting that just squeegee up there and looking rather... Look at that. I don't get out much, honestly, because that impresses me. OK, £15 off of the price here, £39.99. Now, in the catalogue, it says £54.99. So if you do come in now and give us a ring on 08456 40 50 50, take advantage and think about the benefits of coming in for this now at £39.99, £15 saving. It is, of course, wet and dry. Yes, obviously, what we would say is that once you've picked up the egg, get it in the bin, get it thrown away, get it washed out as quick as possible. And, of course, you do that by simply, as we said earlier on, unclipping that and just giving it a good old wash out. Now, there is half a litre capacity in there, which is around about nearly a pint. So you can think about how much liquid is in that. And in terms of full charge on this one here, it's going to give you plenty of time on a full charge. And you can see the actual display here. So we're still fully charged on that, which is good. I'm loving the badge of Hoover, which has been synonymous with quality for many, many years, nearly a century, actually. And, of course, it's got a washable filter on there. So if you stick it under the tap, if you will over time need a replacement, just pop to argos.co.uk/TV. Now, quite simply as well, if I just sit back on the chair for a moment, because of my knees, what we've got is the charger system. Now, this just docks straight into there. Looks kind of cool as well. So if you have got it out of a cupboard and you want to get it wall mounted, you could do that just on the side like that. And when you're ready to use it, you've got it always to hand. I think maybe if you're lucky enough to have a utility room or maybe under the stairs, you can just pop it off like that. That would, of course, plug into your normal mains. You've got a mains plug on the back of that there. And again, wall mounted, so easy access at any point there if you want to. Again, if you want it in the kitchen, the utility room, it's always good to have it by your hands if you're cooking. I tend to make a bit of a mess when I cook, and then you kind of get your dinner cooked and then you think, well, actually, do I want to clear up? But this is a good way of doing it, absolutely. £15 saving there. Have a look at the deal you're getting at £39.99. It is the Hoover SJ144WSR. It is your Jovis wet and dry handheld cleaner at £39.99. And again, £15 saving. What we're talking about here, handheld wet and dry, really good system just to have around the house. If you want to give us a ring, 08456 40 50 50. Check and reserve online at argos.co.uk/TV. If you do want to check and reserve and maybe pick it up whenever you want to in the next day or so, which is always good. Now, still to come as well, if you want to look after your floors, this is cool. Now, this is a very, very similar to what the professionals might use in terms of what it does. It is a floor polisher. It is also a vacuum as well. More importantly, though, we're talking about cleaning things like parquet flooring, slates, marble, wood, things that perhaps you really want to buff up, and this makes an incredible difference. 179.99, catalogue 4065948 for the Hoover F38 PQ4 polisher. Really good deal on that as well. So if you are interested in that, what about coming on through and getting your hands on a really, really good deal here today, which is absolutely fantastic. So, cleaning it all with Hoover here today. More great deals coming up.